So guys, I'm actually pretty psyched to talk about this little short story because I actually got to meet the author, Miss Olivia Berrier, at a convention recently, and she was so cool about this. I was actually pretty psyched to read about this short story due to the interesting premise about it. So as you can see, the subject for today's review shall be The Bard's Choice by Olivia Berrier. Now this is actually very unique as it's not a full-fledged novel, but it's a very nice short story, going at about 81 pages in total. So, let's get started. So the reason why I say this short story is unique by itself is due to the very premise of it. You see, the premise of this short story is that there's a small green stone known as the Bard's Choice, but anyone who possesses this stone literally becomes the main hero of their story. They go from being a side character seen by others into being like the main character. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I have never seen a premise like this before, with an object being responsible for turning somebody into the main character. It's not just one chapter being one person's perspective and another being a different character. It's literally as the chapters are going, as the stone is being passed from hand to hand, that person literally becomes the main character. We switch from characters like humble thieves to just regular townsfolk to people who call themselves alchemists who are like master thieves to some who are even like the main villain. Which, again, that is so honestly unique. Like, Miss Olivia, if you're watching this, I was absolutely blown away by the concept of this story. And I gotta tell you, I definitely liked reading this one. So, the two main characters that really stuck out to me were Kaya and Andros. Kaya, because she is and yet is not the main hero of the story. She's the most prominent character within the story. She's actually known as a humble master thief known as the Alchemist, who hires other people and is claimed to turn regular objects into gold. As in, she'll pay her people handsomely, giving them a nice sum of gold for the things that they find, based on their worth. Which I like that name, it's pretty clever. The Alchemist. That's actually pretty clever. But again, the next character, Andros. Now Andros, I would see him as the main antagonist of the story. But I will say his storyline was definitely the most interesting. I don't know what it is, but I always like those characters who are villainous in nature, and yet at the same time you can also get that first-person perspective like inside of their heads. I do agree with Olivia that characters who are like villainous by nature are fascinating to study, because it's interesting to see their morals, like why they do what they do. Like for instance, Andros does many evil things, but he has a reason for why he's doing it. See, throughout his country, he's known as the Gilder, known for gilding objects into gold or silver, making them look nice and pretty. But also, he hides from a group of magicians due to the fact that he has illegal magic that he has practiced by himself. So, it really made Andros a very standout character throughout the story, and reading through his perspective once he possessed the Bard's Choice was fascinating. We see what he was trying to do. He was trying to extend the life force of others, like essentially creating a fountain of youth style of magic, which was fascinating, but at the cost of others' vitality and youth. Like literally, at one point we see him taking a young boy or an old man and quite literally yanking their life force out of their bodies and putting it into this powder to transmute it into a unique powder that would be able to act as the fountain of youth, like I mentioned, or a revitalizer. With it, he would have become so rich and so powerful that he probably could have avoided this organization despite his illegal use of magic. So he had intentions of helping people to reach longer lives, but at the cost with evil actions. Kaya herself is a more of an honest thief. I could see her as kind of the Aladdin in a way. She essentially helps out others whilst also being a master thief herself. And we actually see how she is a very reluctant hero, because after studying what the Bard's Choice leads to, that being whether these people become great heroes or even worse, horrifying villains. The bard's choice has literally been popping up throughout history, and essentially, the bard's choice is treated as this object. It is passed from hand to hand, and you literally have to make that choice of whether you want to be the main character. Because a lot of times throughout many stories, we always get that first-person perspective, but rarely have we ever seen an object be the main reason as to why a person becomes the main character. Not just because a major character was killed off or anything, or that person will pop up later, no. It's because literally a physical object within this world constitutes that they are the main character of the story. Despite how short it was, I actually would like to see a sequel to this one. I want to see the Bard's Choice again. Even though I was content with what I got with 81 pages, which was very nice, I actually would like to see more of this. I want to see, like, even if it's an anthology, or even just another short story, I would love to see a sequel to this, like the Bard's Choice returning. It's a fascinating concept within writing. So, let's get on to the story, shall we? Let's get on to the score, sorry. So all in all, despite its short length, I would give The Bard's Choice a solid 10 out of 10 for its unique premise, very well written storyline, as well as the fascinating characters it brings to life, such as the reluctant hero, the villainous character, the humble thieves, all of that. It combines a whole menagerie of characters within this short story, and I would actually recommend picking it up, whether as an audiobook or some other way for paperback. Just go check this out. Show your support to Olivia Berrier. And honestly, Miss Berrier, if you're listening to this review, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read this story. And more importantly, if you're watching this review, thank you for listening. And for all of you, my faithful audience, who have stuck around this long to listen to this crazy man's ramblings, thank you so much for listening. If you did like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and or subscribe if you're interested for more. And this is the Rambling Collector, signing off. You all have an awesome day.